What's going on?
Hello. What's
Welcome.
hello, welcome back.
We're
We are
back.
back on, you guys. We missed you guys.
We did. So we haven't been on in 2 weeks. First week there was an emergency that needed to be tended to. So we missed out. And then last week we had Mother Nature decided we finna ice storm y'all up. So I had no Wi-Fi. I did not want to complain on the Book of Faces or on any of my social media platforms because I felt it insensitive to complain when we had thousands of people without power. So I
Mm-hmm.
powered through and used my mobile hotspot, but I couldn't really stream, so I had to watch stuff on my phone. So that was my life last week.
I'm a boss babe.
Okay.
Every
So
time I plug my phone up, it tells me I'm a boss babe.
interesting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Today is Super Bowl Sunday, so we ain't gonna hold you long. We got a lot to talk about, but we're gonna get on through what we need to get
Mm-hmm.
on through. I really don't care about the Super Bowl this year. I only want to see the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I think the Bengals are gonna win.
I think so
Uh,
too.
I think they're gonna win because guess what? The Simpsons predict things and they always right. And the Simpsons predicted that the Bengals were gonna be the winners of the Super Bowl this year. So that's what I'm rolling with. I'm rolling with the Simpsons. They have not steered us wrong yet. Okay. So I think the Bengals are gonna win. Cincinnati, Ohio, stand up. Y'all gonna get y'all first win. We're gonna see how this turns out. But
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl me. I didn't go to any parties cause niggas. And we still have a whole disease out here called Rona that is running rampant out here in
My
the
arm is still hurting, by the way.
yeah, it's gonna hurt for a couple of days.
I mean, since Monday.
hmm It's gonna hurt. It shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't be hurting now. It should just be like lingering. Should be
Mm-hmm.
lingering. Um, but yes, so this is where we are in life.
In
Welcome
life.
to it. Um,
I
I
don't know what
just
my
did
foot.
not want to get out in the masses and deal with people today. And I have to be at work tomorrow at 8:30. So I just didn't think it was
Oh, I will be out in the masses delivering. You guys, if you got me, make sure you tip extra. Okay.
please tip. Please tip. Please tip. We hear the Uber conversation at least once a week. Please tip your people.
Please. Please.
Please, please,
I
please.
did some I did Uber Friday and I tipped the guy $10.
Mm,
Yeah, and it was only $20 for my order.
yeah.
But I
Normally I
was
do
like,
whatever the suggested tip is. Sometimes if they did exceptional, I give them a little extra.
mm-hmm.
But I always try to make sure I tip. And tips add up.
Yeah,
Um,
they do.
so I
That's
do
the
that.
bulk of our money is our tips, to be honest with you.
Right. And I didn't realize that. I don't know what y'all get paid. I don't know how y'all can gauge what you actually get paid from actually doing the Uber Eats runs or the DoorDash or the other one. It's another one out there I know. Um but make sure you tip the people that are delivering food to you. Or anything. I have what service is that? I signed back up for Instacart because I had a free 14-day trial, and it was some things that I needed that I didn't want to go to the store for. So I make sure I tip my people. Keep in mind
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the stuff ain't at the store,
Yeah.
but I
Mm-hmm.
tip them anyway, and regardless of
Do
them.
they call you when it's not at the
They
store?
do. They're very good. They communicate. They take pictures. They call and they send a message in the app. So it's really really nice the way they have everything set up. I know Uber they call
I call.
yeah,
Look, they don't have this flavor drink.
DoorDash don't
Look,
call. Yeah, DoorDash don't call. But I do DoorDash instead of Uber Eats because I think I'm invested in DoorDash for whatever reason.
mm, might
But
be
yeah.
time for you to change, honey. Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
let's get started.
we're gonna get started. We're gonna start with Shine. And the first person that we are going to give shout out to is Memphis's very own Philip Ashley Ricks. He has been doing it up as the Willy Wonka of chocolates, or
He
well,
is.
Willy Wonka was chocolate, but that's his nickname. Willy Wonka, and he's our very own. And you're gonna tell me what he did, what he was doing in Hollywood. I see he's gone out there to deliver the Insecure chocolate box out to them. He normally has an Oscar something or something going on where he's
Mhm.
get putting his chocolates in the gift bags. But Wendy knows exactly why he was out in Hollywood at this point. And you see our girl, you see SZA and you see Mary J, and then you see a whole bunch of other ladies laying with Phil.
And, and then he did something with Khalees.
Yeah, I saw that with Khalees
Yeah.
as well.
He,
Chloe Bailey was out there as well. Yeah,
mhm.
I mean, this
Well,
is
he
really,
met some
really cool.
people. I'm
Yeah,
like, good, look at you. I saw him last night at the Sophony, and I told him, and I said, you need to let me know exactly what you was doing out there
yeah,
so I won't get it wrong.
yeah.
And he said he was a food stylist for a YouTube original limited series called Recipe for Change.
Okay,
And then he's coming out with um a chocolate box called Soul Food. So I
I
don't know
saw that.
exactly what that is entailed of. So I'm
Um,
excited to see what
I'm
it is
I'm imagining some fried chicken, some collard greens, some
in
dressing,
chocolate. In
huh?
chocolate.
Right.
In
He has
chocolate.
the bacon one. I hate that I missed out on that Lovecraft Country. He
Me
said something about
too.
the sweet potato in the chocolate. I was reading that. I'm excited to see because I like it. Jalen liked the chocolate one because I used to take them like once a month at least because budget and all.
Mm,
But he does it, and then he has so he has different flavors and stuff that I like. He has
mhm.
the colors of chocolate. It's really, really nice. So if you guys are not have not been to his spot, it's over on, oh Lord.
Madison.
Is it Madison or Bellevue? Madison? It's over
It's
on Madison.
Madison. Once
Um,
you get off the expressway, you can't miss it because it's
okay.
like to your left.
Right, right,
You make a left on Madison, and then it's going to be right to your left.
right, right.
And
Um,
then I also want to give him a shout out because he got married a couple of weeks
he did.
ago.
I didn't even know. I mean, dang, Phil, you
I
done told me
met
I
his
didn't know.
beautiful wife. She is so beautiful.
Is she? That's
Hmm.
good. I'm glad. I'm glad that he did get married. I saw that as well. Normally in January he has a big event. Of
Hmm.
course, the last couple of years have killed that. I think he's having a event at the at Martha's Vineyard this
Hmm.
summer or in the
Hmm.
fall, somewhere up in there. But
I'm thinking it's Labor Day weekend.
I think that's what it is. That's what it is. So I'm super excited to see that.
And he
Again,
also be doing those masquerade balls too.
right, that's what I'm saying. Normally he does it in January, but instead of doing a masquerade ball, he got married. Uh,
Yeah. His masquerade was always in January. I thought it was like towards the end of the year.
no, he normally has it in January because I was going to
Hmm.
one. I was gonna go to the
Okay.
one in 2020 and it got canceled because of COVID. But it's
Okay.
every January he has it, and he donates the proceeds from it to a charity, a local charity, in the city. So shout out to Phil. Do your thing, my guy. I gotta come back through and get some chocolate. I haven't been in a while, but his
Yeah, me
chocolate is
too.
amazing. He's
It is
extremely
good.
creative, and he said he's a chocolatier till he die. I love it. So make sure y'all hit up Philip Ashley Ricks. Um, follow him on social media, and then y'all can go to his website and order chocolate as well. I just want to put that
And
out.
then you can follow him also on Facebook. Go to Philip Ashley's Chocolates,
Hmm.
like the page, and you can get more information.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right, here we go. Here we go. Fisk. I thought this was, oh, this is an awful picture. I didn't realize it. Fisk launches its first intercollegiate women's artistic gymnastics team. I thought this was awesome because I don't know any HBCUs at all that have a gymnastics team. They have it at all of the PWIs, but not at any of the HBCUs. So I think this is going to be awesome. 9 times out of 10, if a lot of the black females, when we see the videos of these girls doing their thing on the collegiate level. They are
Mm-hmm.
at a white school. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad this will probably cause, hopefully and prayerfully cause some of those black competitors to go to Fisk, and hopefully this will open up the door for other HBCUs to offer this as a sport. So shout out to Fisk. Hats off to you guys for doing your thing. And I can't wait. I want to see y'all on TV, so I need to see that next. Need to see that next. All right. Congratulations are in order for Eve and her husband. They welcomed a baby boy. Super excited for her. Eve has been very open about her pregnancy journey. Um, she has been very, very um she's talked about like women's health issues and women being, going being disregarded when it comes to the health industry, especially black women, and how it was a struggle. They really, really wanted a baby, and she had gone through so much to have a baby. Her husband has 4 kids that she enjoys. She loves being stepmom to those babies. She calls them, they call her their bonus mom. They really have a good relationship when it comes to that. But of course, clearly they wanted their own child together. And she gone through so much, and a lot of times you don't know what people go through. I don't know if in the past she's had an abortion that's caused her to have these issues or problems. But here's the other thing: Eve is about 40 years old. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when we turn 35, that clock is really ticking if you hadn't had kids, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it may possibly be too late. They call us geriatrics at that point in juncture trying to have babies. So
Mm-hmm.
um I'm very happy that she definitely was able to have her baby. And this photo was courtesy of Ed Gaines Entertainment. I just want to give him a shout out. But courtesy of courtesy of his site. But we want to definitely send congratulations to Eve and her husband. And hopefully this means that now we done had the baby, that you're gonna be back on Queens. I like that show. I really do. I like the music. It's not as ratchet as Empire was. I love me some Lucius and some Cookie, but it's not as ratchet. But they deal with different things, and I really, really like that show. So I just saw the last episode because I'm behind on TV, y'all. Oh Jesus,
I'm so behind.
I'm so behind Jesus. All right. We also want to send condolences to Chelsea Chris family.
Yeah.
Miss USA 2019. She did commit suicide while we were off for on a break. Um 30 years old, life ahead of her, but she felt like she did not have enough time to accomplish goals that she was looking
That's
to
set out.
accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Charmaine. I'm sorry I missed your comment. Hello. Thank you for joining us. um, it was really, really sad that her mom shared the letter that she left behind. A lot of people were saying that they thought that it was um foul play involved. I was like, no, she committed suicide. That was the report
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we
Oh,
got.
I was dragged by somebody saying you need to make sure you know the facts before you say what she did.
That
Because
was the
the
report.
police
The report
police
was
are still investigating. Don't you not come over here. Um the police were still investigating and they don't know if it's been foul play. I said, but it
it was
said
not
that
foul
she
play.
jumped.
She jumped from the building and
And
she left the note behind. It
her
was
last
suicide.
message
And
was
and
on
here's
Instagram saying, I pray this day brings you rest and peace.
right. So let's talk about this real quick. What a lot of people don't realize, and I posted this on my page earlier today. Black women are not allowed, and black men too. I'm just gonna say that we're not allowed to have any mental health issues at all. It's we're labeled difficult. We're labeled rude, ghetto, loud, angry, especially with black women. It's the angry black woman stigma when there are some real true mental health issues going on there. She was suffering from depression. Her mother knew that she was, but they didn't
Mhm.
make that known and broadcast that.
And
But
I think one of her platforms for the Miss USA was mental illness
and it
awareness.
probably was because that was something that she suffered from, and it was very close and dear to her heart. Because she knows what it's like. And for people to say, well, she was okay, I just saw her. You never know what anyone is going through behind closed doors. That is something that you cannot gauge, you cannot plan for, you do not know unless they share with you the struggles. And we got to stop. This is the year of our Lord 2022. We got to stop putting a stigma and taboo on everything. We have got to stop doing that.
Mhm.
We got to stop doing it. We got to open up our hearts and our minds and think about what people may be going through and check on your friends. Even if you think your friend got it together and everything is all good, I go through stuff all the time. I don't share it. I don't publicize it. I don't post things on Facebook like that. I try to post fun and light things, but you don't know what I'm going through. I might be sitting in the dark because I had needed 50 more cents on my light bill. You know, MNGW, they do their thing. But you don't know what someone is going through. And so to assume that because this is a beautiful young lady, she won this pageant, she has this, she has that, that's not the right way to look at that whole situation. Okay. Um, so I'm just definitely putting that out there for people to just take it into consideration and think about. People go through things every day. They do. They absolutely do. All right. We just have something small. I'm not delving into all. This is a big thing. Sherry Shepherd is named the permanent guest host for the Wendy Williams show.
Is she named a permanent guest host, or now she's going to be the
No,
host?
it's a permanent guest host. The reports
Okay.
are saying, and I had to make sure I had that right. Permanent guest host, which means they are still planning on Wendy to come back. They don't know when. If her name is still on the billing, so they're not changing the name. I did see on a blog where they were talking about changing the name of the show and all that stuff. No, Sherry wants her own talk show, but Sherry said this was not the way that she wanted it. She will continue to be guest host, and that's probably why they made her the permanent guest host in opposed to her to changing everything up for her. They are Wendy's going through it. I'm hearing all types of reports, drug usage. She's mad because it seems like Kevin is living good off her. He probably took a percentage of
Hold
whatever.
on, he big mad too because apparently, allegedly, because we got to say all things are alleged. Um, allegedly, Wells Fargo is not letting Wendy get access to her money, and
Yes.
she's
Thank you,
behind on
Charmaine.
her creditors. She's being behind. So now, Wendy Williams probably up on her bills and stuff, and Wells Fargo's thinking that she's being taken advantage of. So we're not going to give access to her money, which is causing her to be late on her creditors, which is going to do what? Sink her credit score.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I do believe that if that's going to happen, I'm suing your butt because I still need to pay my creditors. But
And
now,
here's my thing that's really bothering me about this whole situation. Um, how are they able to come up with this conclusion as a bank when you first of all, it's I don't know why the news is reporting on her potential health situation, because they
HIPAA laws.
correct. So I'm concerned about that. And how can you block someone's funds based off of news reports or things that you were seeing in the news unless there is some documentation that was submitted that say I don't feel like the banks would have that right without having any additional like paperwork or that sort of thing to go along with it. Just my thought process. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem right. Like the hospital can't legally call the bank and be like, hey, don't let her get her money because blah 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 blah.
Right.
So yeah, I something and somebody was like, well, Kevin had his own money. No, Kevin really didn't. Kevin was holding on to Wendy's bootstraps. Wendy was his
I
best
smell
friend.
a lawsuit too, Charmaine.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. I just that's why I'm side eyeing that whole thing. How is it that you guys had access to say, hey, we're not gonna do this? I just don't get it. But that's
And big shout outs to DJ Richie Sky and Kempire for keeping me updated on all the hot topics.
oh yeah,
all the
they will, the ones that
yes,
they care about, because
yes,
we covering some things that they haven't mentioned on their stuff. But I
right.
thank you. I yeah, I'm thankful for that. Um, but yeah, shout out to Sherry Shepherd. Leah Remney, I read allegedly that she's upset because she thought she was gonna be the permanent guest host of Wendy Williams, and I don't even remember Leah being a guest host on
Yeah,
Wendy since. Has she
yeah,
been?
yes. She and the other girl. Do you ever watch the Drag Race? RuPaul's Drag Race.
I've seen it, but I hadn't seen it recently.
It's the girl judge on there. I don't forgot her name, but it was like she was co-hosting with another person,
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah,
Kim
Sherry pretty
Whitley
much
and
carries it.
Finesse.
Yeah, I remember Kim and Finesse, but Sherry has been the guest host probably
Hmm.
for quite some time. Like they constantly have her coming back. When to keep talking about this, I'm sorry, I'm getting a call. Hold on for 1 second.
Okay, well, it was the way that I was receiving that they was gonna make her take her spot as the host. But you know what? I'm glad it's the guest host because we want to see Wendy back. Accordingly, apparently, allegedly, Wendy, they saying Wendy is not recognizing or recalling any friends that she sees, and then she's forgetting. She don't even know how to put her clothes on, and she need help with all of that. They're trying to say she allegedly has the beginning stages of dementia. And
I
I'm
don't
not
believe
believing it.
that. I
I don't
don't
believe
believe that
that.
at all. Yeah,
I just believe that, after what Kevin done to her and how she's how he humiliated her. I can never say that word. She's embarrassed, and so she went through a depression, which caused her to start drinking even more and
I
doing
think she's
all things.
relapsed. Yeah, I think that's
Right.
the issue. I don't think it's more, and I think she's going through depression because this is a person who she believed, although he's shown her several times who he was, um, she believed had her back and had her best interest at heart. Um, and that is proved not to be the case.
Hmm.
So I think some way, somehow, he's getting a percentage of proceeds from that show
Hmm. He's
because at
getting
one
he's
point
getting
in
he's
time,
getting
he told,
alimony.
that's right, she got to pay that man alimony. I forgot all about that. Well,
So if he ain't getting his payment, I know he's gonna make an uproar.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because I heard allegedly he's already cheated on the mistress.
I
Honey,
mean,
how you get them is how you gonna lose them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And she brings nothing to the table because she don't have Wendy money. So, all right, next story. Y'all were up in an uproar about this. Now, it was rumored that Rihanna was pregnant um prior to this reveal here. Um and it was rumored that she was pregnant, and everybody was like, "Well, no, I don't think she's pregnant. No, no, no." Well, now we see his girlfriend is good
Hmm.
and pregnant by ASAP Rocky. My only hope is that old ASAP, that baby don't come out the skin complexion that he is, because he don't like us dark skinned women. I don't
Mm.
know why, but he does not. Um, so I pray. I'm grateful for Rihanna being pregnant. This is something that she's always wanted. I know Paul Drake probably is gonna write a song about this on his next album because we know he is slick in love with Rihanna. So we
Hmm.
know that's probably going to happen. Um, but Congratulations to Rihanna. I have no problem with it, but y'all were in an uproar over this. A
Me
lot
neither.
of,
I mean, she's what, in her 30s?
and she's
Her
really,
late 30s?
yeah. No, she in her late 30s.
Or early 30s or
I think
mid
she's
30s.
maybe early to mid. And she in
Okay,
her late.
well,
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna, let her live her life.
Look
She's
at
a
that bill.
billionaire, isn't she? She's like almost a
No,
billionaire.
not almost. She is a
She is a
billionaire.
billionaire.
She can do what she want to do. If ASAP leave her,
She
she gonna
would
be
not
all
care.
right. Because she is
Yeah,
a good
she's
old
33 years old. She's
yeah,
33.
yeah. She ain't old. So I'm happy for her. Now y'all ain't getting no another album. I need y'all to understand it right now. Y'all ain't getting no another album. Charmaine said, "Yeah, for yay for Riri. Pray for a healthy pregnancy. Watch ASAP though. Not quite sure. I don't like him.
Mm.
When that man had said that he wasn't marching with us over here because of the police brutality, because they ain't had nothing to do with him, and then he got over in Europe and they used the same tactics that they used to kill the people over here to arrest him over in Europe, and then he wanted to know where were we? Sir, you said you didn't care about these other folk. You said you didn't care, so guess what? You can't be black when it's convenient for you. You can't.
Right.
You can't be black when it's convenient. That's not how we. That's not how we rock and roll. Um, but I do. I pray that Riri has a healthy pregnancy. Um, and the baby is beautiful. 10 fingers,
Mhm.
10 toes. Extremely healthy. Congrats.
Let's go ahead. Oh, child.
So Nick Cannon, eighth baby on the way. Remember, had a child that passed around Thanksgiving. Um, eighth baby on the way with another woman. And I don't, I, I'm okay with you doing what you want to do with your genitalia and with the people that you're doing it with. And if they ain't got no problem with you having kids with 100 different people, by all means, I think I'm not for it. I'm not okay with it. Because he can afford to take care of all the kids. He take care of all the kids. He send the baby mama's child support, whatever it is. Are they in a relationship, polyamorous situation? I don't know.
Sister
But
wives type of thing.
huh?
I said sister wives type of thing.
It's the weirdest thing. And the majority of these girls were not seeing no more kids. And
Well,
I'm gonna get to it.
Diva, he wants
I'm
10
gonna get to it.
kids.
Huh?
He wants 10 kids.
He wants 10 children. Um, it's extremely weird. I just everybody has been a wild and out girl or some type of Instagram model or something, except for Mariah Carey. Um, I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. But it ain't my business. It ain't my money. I'm not writing no check for none of the kids. However, someone who agrees with me sent
Oh my God.
homeboy
The
his
best
vending machine with all
prank
these condoms.
ever. The
I love
best
sweetheart.
prank ever.
He is
I
the
love their prank wars. I love their prank
he
wars
is the
because they
gift that
take it
keeps on
serious.
giving. They do.
He's
They
like, dude. And then the caption, he said condoms are free, so no excuses. I was like, I was dead. I was dead.
free. Free 99. Like all you gotta do is just press the button and they coming out, sir. And he probably got his size because Nick's thing be thinging. I'm just gonna say that one more
Without him
time.
even
Let's
showing
repeat
it.
that.
Without him even showing it. We see the imprint.
Correct. Um, so I want him to take heed. I want him to take his good brother Kevin Hart's advice and utilize the condom. That's all you got to do, my guy. You
I
ain't got
think
to
he's
keep.
going to start utilizing them after the 10th child is conceived.
I need him to stop. And for somebody to be like, you know what? I think I want to have Nick Cannon's baby today. I can't get behind it. I just can't. Like, ma'am. Apparently, it's a thing to do. Apparently, um, I again, I have no words because he keeps on keeping. Um, so this was interesting. Um, Kiara Shear made some remarks, and has since had to clarify them. But basically, she alluded to the fact that she don't really want a whole bunch of people, in that situation. She's not gonna leave the door open for opportunity for things to happen, i.e., cheating. She made the
My
statement
thing.
saying that even
Mhm.
if she had to send her homegirls to a hotel instead of them staying in her house, that she'd be willing to do that. She'd be willing to pay for them to stay in a hotel and not be around her husband like that.
I understand the concept and all, but if he's gonna cheat, honey.
I do understand, but let me say this: why are you here?
That's what you want to say. Why are you here?
No, the children. Your brother
I
went to go
know.
get food. Get out. Thanks. Close the door. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm I'm sorry. This stay wrong. Um, so let me say this. It's perfectly okay to set boundaries in your relationship. I don't know that I care to know about this. I don't know if
Mm-mm.
somebody questioned her about this or it was an article or it was an
Mm-mm.
interview. I can't remember where the comments came from. But let me give you a little bit of perspective. Um, I do feel like you should be able to trust your husband and your friends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
If
also
you can't trust him, then you shouldn't be with him.
but no. Hold
You
on.
shouldn't
Time
have him.
out. Back
It
up.
depends on what kind of friends you have. You got
It's
the
not even
friend.
that. Keep so
What?
so and that's what I'm saying. Open your mind just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, think about it. When the husband or the significant other is cheating, 9 times out of 10, not always, 9 times out of 10, or if a wife cheats, it's with a friend. They don't mean to cheat. Things happen. They emotionally bond over something. Something happens to where they end up in a situation that they can't get their hands out of. You get what I'm saying? So, in her mind, plus, you also have to think about Kiki. Her family has gone through a lot of dramatic things. Okay? Keep that in mind. Word on the curb is one of her aunties slept with another auntie's husband. I'm just gonna put that word on the curb. So you have
It's a rumor. It's alleged.
it's alleged. I said word on the curb. It's alleged. But not sure about this one. What about trust, Kiki? I'm secure in my marriage with these thoughts. And so it may not be a point of trust. It may be a point of I'm just gonna be cautious in the event something happens, if that makes sense. So let me also say this. Her husband was like, I really don't want a whole bunch of people in my house. I don't want you to feel free enough to walk into my master bedroom. You know what I'm saying? I need you to feel like a guest when you come. So if you come visit,
Mm-hmm.
we got to send you to a hotel. We cool with that.
Yeah, it's like whenever I go over my married friend's house, I'm not gonna go freely into their bedroom. That's
Correct.
a big no-no.
Correct.
Come on
But
now.
some
That
friends
should be
are
some
free.
right.
I'm that free friend. Keep in mind, son, your husband. Whoever you are, you married him, he automatically unattracted to me. Okay. I do not care about your man. However, there are some women that's how it is. However, there are certain situations that you might be put into. So that's a boundary she wants to set in her relationship. I ain't mad at her boundary. That's her
Mm-mm.
relationship. It ain't mine.
Mhm.
The
Amen.
other part of that is a lot of times people get comfortable. And I'm getting to the point in my life. Do I like to entertain? Probably yes. I would like to entertain on the at the same time, in the same breath. I want you to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you at my house 24. I want you to go to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So if ever I get some money, now if I have a nice size house with extra rooms and stuff, I'm no girl, you ain't gotta spend no money on a hotel room. Go on. Just stay in the room over on the other side of the house. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not that person. Like as I get older, literally my dream house is gonna be in the country. Y'all gonna
Mm-hmm.
make the decision as to whether or not you want to come visit Faith. Because Faith,
Mm-hmm.
do I want to make this 45 minutes to an hour drive to Faith house?
Mm.
I have that set up for a reason. For
Yeah, I think when my sister was living in Tipton County, we
Mhm.
probably visit her like once or twice a year.
I'm telling you, because I want my peace. I don't want people all the
Hmm.
time in my space and in my house. This is me being single saying this. This ain't me being married saying this. This is a single person who I do not. My mama asked me today, "Are you going? Where you watching the Super Bowl?" Nowhere. I'm at the house. I ain't got to be out in the streets with y'all. And you ain't got to be
I
on my.
don't think I've ever been the type of person that likes to entertain.
I don't have a problem with entertaining, but I need you to go home at some point in
I
time.
mean,
And
I
it ain't
mean,
got to be
even
Faith House. Don't need to be the entertainment hub. I'm not okay with that either. You
if
see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and I was like, when I had my apartments, I've never had really company over
right,
to entertain. You know, I
right,
had, if you would have called and said, "Girl, I'm gonna come over just to
yeah.
hang for a little bit," yeah, that's fine, but not like have a group over
It's not
and
gonna
do
be the
little
entertainment
things.
hub. It's just not gonna be
I've
it.
never been.
I'm just not gonna
I'm
be it.
I'm I'm the ultimate introvert.
I'm not. I'm sometimey. I'm an ambivert, aka ambivert. So I don't have a problem. When I was younger, my mama used to have our friends over our house all the time. Sometimes
Fine.
I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't even understand it, but I was like, okay, well, they over here, so it's all good. It I didn't realize what that was for me. I'm literally a sometimey person. I have paid for events to go to different things and will be sitting on my couch watching something and do not move or go anywhere.
Do
I
not
you
move
know I
on.
supported you in dollars. I would have loved to see what was going on and what was happening. That's who I am. And as I get older, I'm leaning more into that than anything else. And so
Mhm.
occasionally, yes, come on my house, hang out. But all the time you in my crib? No, dog. That's why the dream house is gonna be out. So if you say, do I want to go on over to Faith's house? So I get that it's a boundary that's set in their relationship. Again, I don't know that I cared enough to hear about the boundary that you set in your relationship. Somebody also mentioned that she might have been cheated on before. And so that's just a boundary. And it could have been with a friend or somebody that she thought was her friend. So it's a boundary that she set. I get you want to trust people, but I mean, some people, I don't know. The way the world is set up now, this ain't the 1980s, and it was probably worse in the 1980s. We just ain't had social media at the time. So I get it. Set a boundary in your relationship. That might not be a boundary that you would set in your situation, but that's probably what works for her, and her husband agrees with it. So if they like it, I love it. I just, set your boundaries, child. Set them. Um, Snoop Dogg owns Death Row. I'm super excited about this. Death Row, who's been kind of a slave master or a taskmaster for artists like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg,
Mm-hmm.
everybody else that was on Death Row, Tupac and all of them. And it was hard for Snoop to get out of that contract. It was hard for Dre to get out of his contract. Snoop got his master's maybe 5 or 6 years ago, after
Mm-hmm.
waiting 10 years to get his master's for everything that he did on Death Row. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and his entrepreneurial spirit, I used a big word, I'm proud of myself. Um, it came about with his partnership when he went to No Limit Records with Master P. And the thing with Master P was he said, I never had a problem with Snoop staying for a short period of time because that's what he did. He stayed for a short period of time, learned the game, learned some stuff from Master P. Went on because he said, I want you to leave better than what you came to me. And
Mm-hmm.
he did that. So now he acquires Death Row Records. Now keep in mind, Suge ain't never getting out of jail. I just need y'all to understand and realize Suge ain't never getting out of jail. Ever. He gonna be in there till he die.
Mm-hmm.
We got him on tape running over somebody intentionally. He tried to pretend like
Mm-hmm.
he was blind. Sir, you can see. You can see just fine. You meant to run over that man. That's what you meant to do. Um, so I'm happy about this. Now, what is Snoop gonna do with it? I don't know. But at least you acquired it. So that's the first step. So no Suge in sights. And I'm happy for him. So Snoop and Dr. Dre, Mary J, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, they're all going to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime. So I can't wait to tune in. I'm excited.
A lot of parents, a lot of teenagers going to see their parents
Oh
grown
yeah,
up, who grew up in the
yep,
90s,
yep.
dance and embarrass themselves.
They are. Okay, so this is, I wish I could have cut the top picture out. Because there were more than eight or more than these campuses that were threatened by bombs. They had a ton of bomb threats going towards the HBCUs.
Mm.
My alma mater, Jackson State, was included in this number, along with Alcorn and Mississippi Valley, which are also HBCUs in Mississippi. Xavier, Tougaloo, Morgan, Edward Waters, Kent State or Kentucky State University, Copen State, Spelman, Fort Valley, and Howard also received the death threats. And I did not, I know why, because we have a certain uptick in talented athletes leaving PWIs, not accepting the contracts with the PWIs to go play for HBCUs. A lot of people feel like there's a problem with this. They're not going to get the attention that they need or deserve. In the majority of the HBCUs, they've at least had one NFL player come out of those. Alcorn has had, we have had, Valley has. We have some schools that have been able to do it. Now they apparently have caught six young people, maybe juveniles, that are part of the Aryan Nation, that were computer tech geniuses that were able to pull these bomb threats off. I'm thinking they have gotten them or gotten a hold of them. Of course, we probably won't see their pictures or their faces because they didn't actually set off the bomb. So they're probably going to protect them because they are juveniles. But this is crazy. I
Yeah.
this was wild when I heard this. I'm like, oh my god. Um, I'm a believer in HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
I am a product of HBCU, and I believe in what they're doing. I'm very very happy and proud of my school, my institution, and as a result of what Deion Sanders has done for Jackson State, we got Eddie George at Tennessee State,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of more NFL players are coming to HBCUs to coach and to build.
Because I guess that's the only way they can do it. Because
We'll
apparently
talk
I
about
think we're
that.
gonna talk about that later. But
We'll talk about that a little later. But it's not just that; it's making us prime real estate, like your Florida States and your Alabamas and your Auburns and those schools, making us prime real estate to where we are gonna have people in the draft. Where it's not gonna be a needle in a haystack. They're gonna prep us and prepare our young men to be what they need to be able to
mhm.
play in the NFL. And that's it. And I'm for it. I'm here for it all. So congratulations to the different campuses that made sure the students were safe. I thank you that made sure the students were safe, made sure that they had what they need, made sure they secured the property, they had extra security on the campuses, they had bomb squads looking through things. I'm super excited that they got on top of it and did not take that for granted. So shout out to you guys for doing what you needed to do in that situation for our students. So this was a debacle. Um, this was a mess and a debacle, to say the least. So a couple weeks ago, there was a letter that circulated around that was quote unquote supposedly from Jackson State University's legal counsel, stating that they were pulling out of the Southern Heritage Classic, and couldn't, thank them for allowing us to play in the game. And that was that on that. Um, I did not get to see the dates on the notice or the letter. There are a couple of different fake letters going around, so I didn't want to go there. But I saw it on the news, and I was like, okay, it's a little crazy. What's going on? Then I remembered that the SWAC has agreed to participate in another classic, the SWAC, which is the Southwestern Athletic Conference. That's a conference that we play in. Each college football team or college sports team plays in different athletic conferences, and they
Mhm.
really govern and make decisions for our schools. We don't make the decisions at the universities. So let's start there. Because of the money that this other classic was going to pay Jackson State and the other school to participate in that conference, Jackson State decided, or not Jackson State, the SWAC decided to sign the contract to play in the classic against UAPB the first year and then Southern the following 2 years. Um, So we knew that this was happening, but we didn't know how soon it was quote unquote happening. And Jackson State, according to Jackson State, and I can only go by what the statement was released, that they had been in constant conversation and contact with Fred Jones and Summit Management as it regards to the Southern Heritage Classic. Let me also say this. Jackson State received a total of, for the band and for the football team to participate, $350,000. They just got a raise that just got bumped up this year. Okay. Over
Mhm.
a 30 years, almost 30-year span of this game, or 30-year span of this game being a staple in our community, that millions of dollars have been made off of this game. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, from sponsorships to the tailgate spaces to the tickets to merchandise to everything, the all the weekends, the fashion shows, the concerts, millions of dollars. Okay. And
Mhm.
neither HBCU, this is for Tennessee and Jackson State, they have
Mhm.
not been valued, in my opinion,
Mhm.
enough to pay them for doing this game every year.
And even though it does bring a lot of revenue to Memphis that weekend, I mean, they should be heavily compensated.
Heavily compensated. Mr. Jones, millionaire, millionaire. So it's a business decision. They did make the decision to play this year. This year is going to be the last year for Jackson State to play in the game. That means Summit Management has over a year to find another team to replace Jackson State. I ain't mad at Jackson State for leaving. It's a business decision. It's business, it's not personal. If the white schools can come and play at the Liberty Bowl Stadium, I'm sorry, Stadium, and make a million a pop to get out there and play a bowl game, guess what? I feel like Jackson State and Tennessee State can each get $1 million. That's how
Yeah.
exactly how I feel. You can't tell me that that's not something that cannot happen or be warranted. So, but a lot of people were upset with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was hired by Jackson State to coach Jackson State football team. Deion does not make any major decisions on that level. He doesn't set the football schedule. The SWAC conference and the other conferences, they set the football schedule for each school. Okay. So he was not in charge of that. Neither was Jackson State, to be honest. It was the SWAC's decision. They had to come up with a compromise to do this. I don't know what the compromise was, but 2022 is the last year that Jackson State will be playing in the Southern Heritage Classic. I like the game. I enjoy the Southern Heritage Classic. Um, normally my kids playing football, so I typically end up missing the game unless I see it on TV because I'm normally on the football field all day with my child. Um, and I'm glad that they were, they have had this run with the Southern Heritage Classic. But it's time to do something different, especially when you are not being valued. And that's what I really feel like the conversation is here. Jackson State said that the letter that was sent to Summit Management was leaked, and I have my opinions about who I believe leaked the letter, but I'm going to keep that to myself. But I will say that it is um definitely definitely um something that we need to be fighting for, equity for our schools. I don't care if it's the black person that's putting on the event for us or not. It can be black, white, purple, green, yellow. If we're not being valued, we need to move forward. So I totally agree with the business, and that's how business should be handled. So that's all I got to say about the Southern Heritage class. All right. So speaking of which, and we had kind of started this discussion. Brian Flores, who is the former head coach for um the Miami Dolphins, was recently let go from the Miami Dolphins. He filed a lawsuit against the NFL. Um, First, and I had to have this article up so that I could break down everything. So, Lovie Smith was just named head coach of the Houston Texans, which I think is wonderful. But Lovie has spent time with the Chicago Bears as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the lawsuit that was filed against the NFL and three of its teams, it claims that black head coaches in the NFL are neither hired at representative rates nor kept around for very long. As you can see, Brian Flores. Okay, hold on. Somebody said, thanks for clearing it up. Pay the HBC the same way, secure the bag, JSU. That's what we doing, baby. We is securing the bag. Hallelujah. Uh, so they are not. In the lawsuit, it states that the NFL remains rife with racism. Okay. And I'm getting this uh, article from Vox.com.
Mhm.
Um, and it says that particularly when it comes to hiring and keeping the black coaches, okay, they have to go through a rigorous interview process, whereas the white coaches, basically it's a good old boy system that they have to deal with, and that they go through. Um, I'm sorry. That's what they uh. That's what they
And
go through. Go ahead.
and didn't he say that the owners tried to bribe him to losing games?
Correct. They were going to pay him $100,000 per game that he lost because they wanted to have a prime position in the draft. So these last 3 seasons he's been with the Miami Dolphins, he has been very, very key in making sure that they have better seasons than they have had in the past. And so the owner and the general manager both stated or both wanted him to purposely lose games so they can have a prime position in the NFL draft. Typically, when your teams are sorry, this is in the NFL and the NBA, you normally get like first draft round pick, second, you get those first prime positions when they do trades. When they trade a player from one team to another, when those trade deals, they make sure that they get a prime position as far as the trade is concerned when it comes to the draft. So they have 5 black coaches. I don't think they have any general managers, but 5 black coaches right now in the entire NFL. 5. Over the years, I think it may have been a minimum of 60 to maybe 80 coaching positions. And this is not just head coach, this is coordinators,
Mhm.
defensive coaches, that sort of thing. So out of the many years that the NFL has been a thing, they have not had representation with black coaches. Um,
Hence the reason why a lot of these black athletes, college athletes, they don't make, after they retire, go to coach the HBCUs.
which that hadn't been the case. This has just
Mm-mm.
become a thing with
Mm-hmm.
Dion saying, not saying that we haven't had any former NFL players coach HBC. We have, but that has not been a norm. Now it's becoming a norm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're saying that we are blocked out of ownership, and that's the truth. Because if you ain't got the money that they got to sit at their table, you get blocked. So black people don't have equity in any football teams in the NFL. NBA, we're able to kind of buy a portion and get in. Not many of us, but a lot of us are able to buy into the NBA. That's not the case with the NFL. Um,
Okay, I don't know the name of the guy, but it's one black man is a step closer of owning an NFL team.
Byron Allen, who is a
Okay.
TV mogul, he sold a couple of. So he's like a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So he sold a couple of TV stations, if you will, or a couple of networks. Really, really good. So he's like a billionaire. So he has the money to do it. Are they going to take him through a rigorous process? Are they going to take him through changes? Is he going to have to jump through hoops? That's the question. How is it this going to work out for Byron? And that's what my thought process is. But he's one of many who's attempted to get in or tried to get in. I remember Diddy was talking about doing it, and they laughed at Diddy when he was talking about getting into ownership. I really wish that we would bond together, all of our black entertainers, black athletes or former athletes that are well off money wise. I really wish they would get together on this and pool resources so that we can have a seat at the table, or two or three or four or five. It's gonna be hard pushing these people out, because typically when they own an NFL team, Jerry West, I've been waiting on that man to die for years. And he was old when I was a little girl. I'm just gonna keep it 100 and real. He was old when I was a little girl. And that man pushing 92 and still alive and well and at all these football games. I don't know what's going on. But they pretty much keep that ownership till they die. And a lot of times they have clauses in their will to pass it on to their family. So I don't know how that's going to fare for us trying to get seats at the table. It's a very, very, very racist situation, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Um Now, I think Brian is probably gonna get hired while he going through this lawsuit. Maybe not, but after this lawsuit is complete, whether they decide to keep him on as a coach or not, I don't think that's gonna happen. If he gets money from a settlement from the court case, I think they are not gonna, just like with Colin Kaepernick. I do not believe that they're going to allow Brian to coach again in the NFL. I think that about killed his chances. But I stand behind him because, listen, somebody had to file the lawsuit. And if that means you got to be the martyr in the situation, sir, my head goes off to you. I don't know any other way to kind of break this down. But the NFL has to do better, and they're not. They're really failing at all costs. They are really, 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 really failing. And I don't understand it. And we support it. We still support it, which is crazy. I love, football. I love basketball. I love these sports, but they make it hard for us as black people. They want us to play for them and make the money, but they don't want us to have the ownership and the equability that is, in the game. So I don't know, but I do commend him for taking this stand and doing what he needs to do, to make sure that we're one step closer to having that seat at the table. So shout out to Brian Flores for that. Y'all, listen. I don't know who was on the name committee for Washington's team. The Commanders ain't it. I just want y'all to know that. I'm not feeling the name. I need y'all to go back to the drawing board. I would rather y'all had just said the Washington football team. I'm saying. I understand the connotations behind Redskins. I get it. I understand. Right there with y'all. I still question the Chiefs, but everybody was like, well, they can do anything with a Chief. I still question the Chiefs. But I mean, if this is the hill
But
we
yeah,
want
with the
to die
Chiefs, they
on,
don't have anything indicating Indian signs like the
they
Redskins.
did at one point, and I think that's why they changed it. Because that's why I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, what about the Chiefs? They probably don't now, but back then they did. I promise. I remember seeing something with an Indian and a Chief thing. Yeah. Um. So I don't know how I feel about these Commanders. Again, I feel like y'all need to go back to the drawing board, but again, this is the hill you want to die on. I will allow
Y'all
y'all
suck.
to do it. I just
They suck.
all right. So
Oh
listen,
Lord, I'm
I don't
tripping off
know
of this.
what is going on. I need to understand, Nelly. First of all, son, how did you accidentally upload a sex tape to Instagram or Twitter or wherever you uploaded it to? I want to know that first. Here's the other thing. When y'all leak this stuff online, it goes nowhere. People can record or copy the video that you post on your social media and they can put it on different sites for people to see. Apparently, after Nelly's thing leaked, then Lil Fizz decided he was froggy and he wanted to jump. Then they
Out
started
off the
with the
mushroom.
Soldier Boy stuff out. And
You hear
listen,
me? I
huh?
said off the mushroom.
You know, say this. I'm not mad at anybody's stuff. If you want to post your stuff all over the internet, I don't think you accidentally leaked that video. I don't see, because it takes time to upload a video to the
Mm-hmm.
media of social. It just does.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, you wanted us to see it. Now you probably apologized because some of the women couldn't get behind what was going on. They saw you weren't quite meted up the way they thought you should have been. And you probably was like, I apologize for, sir, listen. Let's not accidentally upload anything else onto the internet again. As a matter of fact, we need PR people. That's why we need PR people. I just thought it was hilarious, the different comments. Some women were like, oh, so y'all just don't want to be able to walk. And then some people were like, it's too small for me. I just, I like seeing the different comments, the different memes. It was a little funny. Um, Yeah, Nelly, don't do that no more, dog. Don't do it. All right. So Amir Locke, um, Wendy, I read up on this. Amir Locke in Minneapolis, um, was sleep in his was it house apartment. I think he was sleep in his house. I don't know if he was on the couch or he was in the bed.
He was on his couch sleeping.
Okay.
They showed the video,
Okay.
and they busted in, and and he, number one, he was lawfully able to carry a gun. His gun was legal.
Mm-hmm.
So if you in my if I'm alone, and folks, trying to bust in my house, and I got my gun beside me, and you bust in my house, what's my natural instinct? I'm gonna pull out my gun. And then it had no reason. He wasn't a person of interest. That's what kills me right here.
Yeah.
Not kills me. This is what really disturbs me right here.
Right.
He was not a person of interest. They just busted the door. They saw he got a gun. Oh, I'm fearing for my life. Boom, boom. And then, hold on. Let me just say this. There's a man in Mississippi. He's white. Shot at several of the local county's deputies. Guess where he's in? He's not in the morgue. He's in jail. They just straight out executing us and want to find a reason. And if they see a weapon, oh, we fear for my life. If you fear for your life, you shouldn't be doing that job.
You do not need to be. And I'm not saying that fear is not a natural instinct to have, but you need to go with caution, in my opinion. And if you feel like a black person is going to shoot you before a white person does, then you don't need to be a police officer. You don't need to be policing in our neighborhoods. I keep saying that. Let us alone if that's not the route or the direction you want to go in. So I do hope the mayor of Minneapolis did stop the no knock warrants. They are not supposed to go on or take place, but this man has lost his life as
Oh
a
yeah,
result.
and they like we ain't got no more money to give folks
Oh
like
no, they
this.
got money. Remember, remember we talked about this. The Wall Street they have invested. Each state has a stake in police brutality.
Mm.
Understand, they got money to pay their family. It ain't they ain't got no money. They have a fund specifically for this. So they
Well, oh,
can
well,
use
let me
money.
rephrase. They probably tired of giving folks money.
They not cause here's the thing, it ain't money that's coming out of their budget. That's the thing, because this is money that they set aside and earmarked for this. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
If it was coming out directly from that city's budget or that state's budget, then I would say, yeah.
Maybe it needs to. Maybe it needs to.
It probably does.
And then with that being said, okay, y'all need to be watching out who y'all shooting at.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But my
Absolutely.
prayers go out to his family.
Yep. 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 So
Let's go to
this
the
is
next.
this is where we are, and this is still 2022, and here we go. So praying for Amir Locke's family. Hope that they actually receive justice in this. I hope it's not another situation like Breonna Taylor. I definitely hope that they prosecute these officers and get them locked up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Now you're gonna have to talk about this because I've heard little its and bits and pieces about it. But
Okay.
go ahead.
Joe Rogan is a part of the UFC. Um, he also was a comedian. I didn't know he was a comedian. I just remember him from the kickboxing. Um, he had signed $100 million deal with Spotify to have his podcast on Spotify, and they talk about different things, normal stuff white people talk about. I only am familiar with Joe Rogan from UFC. Not familiar with him as a comedian. Not familiar with him in any other aspect. Okay. But he has this podcast. Spotify did this $100 million deal, and he was spreading some misinformation about COVID. This is how this started. This is how we found the things that we found with Joe. So he's spreading this misinformation about COVID. And of course, it could have been a guest that was on the show, but he's like co-signing what the people are saying. So certain artists were like, we're going to take our music off Spotify. Y'all paying this man $100 million and y'all pay me 10 cents a song. No, I don't have to, I don't need that money. I'm good. Then come to find out that he has been using the N word with the hard R on several of his podcast episodes. And in his mind, he thought it was okay to use it because I was using it in context or I was quoting someone else. No, it's not okay, sir. You're white. And that's hurtful and harmful based off of the origin of that word and how it was used towards us. It's not okay for you to utilize that word. Okay. So, first of all, Spotify came out with a statement saying, well, you know what? We don't even produce his show. We just pay him to exclusively have his show on Spotify. Basically, in layman's terms, we're not getting rid of Joe Rogan. We done pay him this $100 million. Just understand that we can't control what's going on his show because we don't produce his show. His show is produced by a whole nother company. That's what I gathered from that. Then you had stars like NDR Reed and more artists coming out saying they wanted to pull their music off of Spotify because that was not okay for this man to, and he's used it in 70 episodes of his
Mm,
podcast.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And not saying the N word, you using the whole word with the hard R. So he came out with an apology, um, saying that he's not a racist person. It was taken out of context what he was saying. Y'all gotta listen to the whole podcast episode. As a result, Spotify pulled those 70 plus episodes off of Spotify.
mm,
So nobody will hear those episodes.
mm,
They still said it.
mm-hmm,
Um, so a lot of people were like, well, I accept his apology. I don't, because you feel
mm-mm.
comfortable enough to say it. He has a biracial stepdaughter with his wife. Um, that still doesn't give you the space to say that word. Period. You're a white man.
Mm-mm.
You should
Mm-hmm.
know the ramifications or the hurt that it would cause to use
Mm-hmm.
that word. You should know this. This is something that should be known. So I'm not
Yeah.
okay with Joe Rogan. I don't care. I again I did not listen to his podcast. I didn't follow him on that respect. But I don't think that this is okay. Period. I don't think it is. So that's what happened with old Joe Rogan. That's the short and sweet of the story. But yes, that's where we are with that. Yeah. Yep. Meanwhile, people are putting Whoopi in the same box as Joe Rogan.
But this is my thing about that. She didn't say anything really bad.
Let's give some context to this.
I
One thing,
understand.
I'm
Yeah.
just I'm trying to tell the viewers what happened, just in case
Mhm.
they don't know. Episode of The View, they were discussing a book about racism that was going to be read by students in
No, I think it was books that was going to be removed, I believe.
removed, but I think it was a book that they read because this is a conversation about critical race theory, as well as a conversation about them removing a particular book out of a school here in Tennessee. Okay, I had the discussion. Somebody mentioned the Holocaust. Whoopi said, well, the Holocaust really wasn't about racism. It was as much as it was about um, um, mankind being inhumane to other humans. Because what people don't realize is the Holocaust was not just a thing against Jewish people. They dealt with homosexuals. They dealt with black people during that time. So it was if you weren't like the people that not Hitler, because Hitler looked Jewish. If you were not like the people that Hitler controlled,
I
and,
think
and,
Hitler
and
did have some Jewish background in him.
that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that's the way he looked. He looked like the people he was persecuting. Let me be clear on that.
And if my recollection is correct, it stemmed from his mama dying in the hands of a Jewish doctor. And he was mad about that.
Possibly. And I think I don't remember reading that, but I remember you saying something to me about that. So everybody is up in arms. Here's my issue with this. And I'm gonna be real candid and real clear. And if somebody don't like me, okay, that's fine. Um, my issue with this is it was wrong what happened during the Holocaust.
Yes.
Very wrong what
We're
happened
not
during the
saying that it was not wrong. We're not
Holocaust.
saying
And
that
I
it
don't
did not
think Whoopi
happen.
said that it was right what happened with the
No,
Holocaust.
no.
I think let me also say this. I think that yes, you're on a show where you're supposed to give your opinion. Yes, there was a white girl on there by the name of Megan McCain who got to spew all kinds of hateful rhetoric, and they didn't make her lead the show or suspend her for stupid stuff she said every week. Um, but at the end of the day, you're in an industry that is run by the Jewish community.
But this is my thing. It'd have been very different if she had said slurs, anti-Semitic
She did not,
slurs.
and she
She
didn't do
did
that.
not.
She did
And
not.
then she immediately apologized.
She
And
did.
she brought somebody on the show to educate her on how she
She
misinterpret
did that,
it being a
and
race
still got
thing.
suspended for 2 weeks.
Totally different. Totally
And still
different.
got suspended for 2 weeks. So let me also say this. My problem is with this whole scenario is I have been in contact with people in the Jewish community who the first thing that comes out of their mouth when we mention slavery is y'all need to get over that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we mention the Holocaust, it's a different ball game. It's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all went through the Holocaust for what?
For
4 years?
4 years.
4 years.
Not even a decade.
Not even a decade. And slavery took place for 400 years.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me I'm supposed to get over a system that was put in place to keep me down?
And if I'm not mistaken, some Jewish people are racist against black people.
Not some, baby. The majority. Not
I just say
some. Don't make it clear. Now, let me say this. I'm not saying all Jewish people are racist. That's not what I'm saying at all. But a lot of your kitchen table talk, if you I'm sure there was some Jewish families that had black help in the
mm-hmm.
50s and the 60s,
Mm-hmm.
probably in the 70s as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost certain all of these things have taken place and happened. You cannot tell me that, yes, you have a community, and they were able to have a community of their own. They got reparations.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they got reparations is America did contribute to the Holocaust. Let me put that out there right now. They absolutely contributed to the Holocaust. They did. However, where our money at?
Mm-hmm.
We help you build this country up. Where our money at? That's the problem
Mm-hmm.
that I have with this. And if she took the steps that she needed to take, but that's not enough. It's like y'all need to make Whoopi. She needs to be fine. Whoopi, guess what? If Whoopi don't get that check from the View, Whoopi is gonna be fine. Because guess what? Whoopi is paid. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Whoopi has been making money since before money was money. She was making money when I was a little girl, when I was a child. She was making money. Her money is long. Okay, you can't. You cannot knock Whoopi down. So even if Whoopi decided to walk away from the show, now somebody said Whoopi had a talk show back in the day. I don't remember this talk show Whoopi had. They was like, yeah, in the 90s. I was like, Whoopi, you need to have your own talk show. You know, that was like she had it. Didn't nobody watch it. When did Whoopi Goldberg have a talk show? Because I am a very, very. I have watched movies that people didn't even know Whoopi was in. Okay, that's just how big of a Whoopi Goldberg fan I have been. I used to watch all of the comic relief, stand-up comedy specials that they used to have with her and Robin Williams and Billy Crystal. I'm telling you, I am a Whoopi Goldberg fan, but I did not know Whoopi had a talk show. So somebody need to send me the thing for Whoopi's talk show, because I have yet to see it.
That's what I'm looking for right now.
I want you to look, because I don't remember her having no talk show. But even if she was to come out with one again, why can't it be successful? It might not have been a thing for her back in the 90s. She has a platform that she's on right now. I think she could be successful at it. And I feel like people will support, because I would definitely support her talk show. I would do that. It's Whoopi Goldberg.
She got books.
Like 2 or 3 people told me about this, and I was like,
I don't see nothing about a talk show.
Okay. Somebody's gonna have to make me see this talk show.
Oh.
All right. So a couple of the stories that I had on the list, it's bugging me. It's bugging me. So I decided to make it as a part of our installment of what's bugging us. Before I do that, Wendy, is there anything you want to? Just okay.
No.
Ain't nothing bugging you this week. Okay.
The same old, same old.
I got you. Okay, so there was a preview of a show, I'm sorry, a movie that's coming out on
Hold
Netflix.
on. She did. It was a late night talk show, the Whoopi Goldberg show.
Oh, what
And
station was this on?
it was in syndication from 92 to 1993.
Oh, okay, I don't remember that. It
It was for 30 minutes.
was a 30-minute late night talk show.
Mm-hmm.
What station was this on?
We don't know.
Oh, okay. But if she
Mm-hmm.
had something similar to The View, I think it would work. I don't want to see her at late night. I'm okay with her doing what she does right now. Okay, cool. Um, Lauren London, I forget this guy's name right here. Um, Eddie Murphy, Nia Long, they're all supposed to be in a
Is that Jonah Hill?
Jonah Hill, that's his name. They're all supposed to be in a version of Guess Who. It's called something else, but it's kind of like a Guess Who's Coming to Dinner type of deal. Okay.
That was already done, remade with Bernie Mac
Correct.
and Ashton
Well,
Kutcher
here's the
and
thing too.
Joyce.
A lot of great movies that we like, they have made them 2 or 3 times. They have.
Right.
They really have. So I'm not mad if they have redone this again. If they have a different spin on it, I think it's gonna be funny because it's Eddie Murphy. He's hilarious. Nia Long can be funny. When brought, when the occasion arises. Jonah Hill is hilarious. Okay, so I'm okay with this. I'm not mad at this at all. However, there were some disparaging remarks about Lauren London, as it regards, or is it in respects to her weight. And I did not appreciate this because here's my thing. I'm sick of guys who are built like the Pillsbury Doughboy having opinions about somebody's weight. This woman has been through a lot. She lost her life partner. They have a kid together. She's trying to deal with it. I don't know. It could be the way the camera's set up. I'm not necessarily sure. However, that gives no credence to the disrespect that I've seen as far as these memes and these Twitter comments are concerned about this young lady's weight. I don't like it. I
I don't
ain't
like it
cool with
either.
it. She's a beautiful young lady. If she put on a couple of extra pounds, she can get it off. She rich and famous. Let that girl alone. Let it alone. Why do we have to comment on somebody's weight all the time? You don't know what she's going through.
No, no,
Period.
no,
Leave that
no.
woman alone. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
And there's another remake that's coming out, Cheaper by the Dozen. This is going to be the third remake with Gabrielle Union, and I don't forgot
Is
the
it the
guy's
third
name.
one?
It's the third one because I've seen the first one back in the 40s, and then
Oh, okay. I got you.
Then Steve Martin
Steve
did one,
Martin and
but it made
what's
it
his
to a
name?
sequel. So he did two of those
Yeah, they
movies,
did 2 movies.
and
This
now
isn't a
this is
movie
the
though. This
third.
is a series, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think this is a movie. I could
The
be
cheap.
wrong, but I think it's a series.
Oh, okay.
But it's with Gabrielle Union and
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name right now. It's gonna come to me. Benjamin Bratt, I think it's his name. Not Bratt. It's gonna come to me. But I didn't appreciate the comments. Women, especially when we get a certain age, sometimes our weight goes up and down. It could be due to health. It pissed me off how people were dragging Layla Rashawn when the situation happened with her husband and Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. And I was like, I can't believe y'all are dragging this woman when this man has been with her for all this time. You don't know what anybody's situation is. You don't know why they have gained weight. Sometimes it's not so easy to get the weight out. I know it ain't easy for me to get the weight out for me.
Sure.
At this age, it's not. So
and then I heard the most where you gain the weight is gonna be the last place you lose it.
Yeah. Like it's a lot. I'm just waiting on the Lord to send me the sign that surgery is afoot. Because I'm for the surgery. I'm tired of trying to be on all these meal plans and these workouts. My friends to sign me up. We all signed up for the bubble run in June. I ain't gonna be ready. I said I'm gonna pass. I need some type of workout plan because I'm gonna pass out in the middle of the bubbles. I need y'all to understand. I'm so out of shape. I need to be working out. But it's hard. It really is hard, especially if you're going, working, and you can't. I just can't. I can't. So I didn't appreciate this. And one more thing that's bugged me. Sydney Carter. Let me say this right now. What y'all not finna do with Miss Sydney Carter is talk about what's appropriate and what's inappropriate for her to wear. She cannot be on the sidelines dressed up like Lori Lightfoot, the Chicago mayor. I'm gonna need y'all to get up off sis and let that girl do what she do. I am not mad
I,
at the
I,
outfit that she got
are
on.
y'all mad that she stout and she filled out?
They mad, baby. They are mad. Get up off of Sydney. Talking about, is this appropriate? Listen, so if you want Mayor Laura Lightfoot to be on the sidelines, just say that. Get off of sister girl. She probably played basketball when she was in school, and she wasn't one of the ones that was a tomboy. She wanted to be fine, and let that girl be fine on the sideline.
Probably bringing more people in looking at her.
All of her little outfits are cute. I love it. I love the way she styled. She goes there with her team. She's coaching them girls. Let that lady be who she be. Period. Let her lead her team to victory or whatever in what she's wearing. She ain't coming being an Instagram model. She just out. She just got it like that. Get up off of Sydney Carter. Do y'all understand me? I don't want to hear nothing else. I keep seeing posts about what's appropriate and what's not. Was it appropriate for you to not have hair and you go get a lace front like a woman? Like, leave this lady alone. Leave these women alone. Stop it. If you ain't going to bed, half of the people comment on whether or not this appropriate, or half of the people comment on Lauren London gaining weight. Guess what? There is never a chance for you with either one of these women. Never a chance. Never a chance. There is no way. Rihanna getting pregnant. It was never a chance. Your heart is hurt. Why? Rihanna would never look your way. Stop it. Leave these folk alone. Leave them alone. That's all I got. That's all we got for today. I'm shocked that we got through this quickly. Wendy, tell them how they can reach you.
Okay, you guys, you can always reach me on Facebook, Wendy Edinburgh Smith. Instagram is at VLux76, and my website, my Mary Kay website, and spring products just launched, so y'all can order. We got some good stuff that came out, and some new lipsticks. So they got rid of the True Dimensions and came up with some new type of lipsticks, and I cannot wait. But my website is www.marykay.com/WEDINGBOURGH.
Okay. And you guys can reach, hold on, Heather and Heather's Passion Academy on Facebook, YouTube, website, heatherspassionacademy.com. Heather actually did a review of Married at First Sight on last night. I did not get to chime in with the review crew. I just so happened she tagged me in the message, and it was 15 minutes till go time, and I didn't feel like trying to get up and do nothing because I was tired yesterday. But we are waiting on Heather to come on back to the forefront with us. But I want y'all to continue to follow Heather. I'm gonna have to talk to her about at least coming on at least once a month. Jesus, we're gonna have to work that out. You guys can reach me on Facebook at Vic's Kids Faith More, Instagram at Vic's Kids Faith, and Twitter at Vic's Kids Faith. You guys can reach us here at the Size Up, Facebook at the Size Up, Instagram at the Size Up 2102, YouTube the Size Up Official Podcast. Make sure y'all go there, hit the notification button, subscribe, share it. If you hit the little bell, you'll know when we're getting ready to go live on YouTube. We want to kind of get our viewership up there. And if y'all want to be a guest on, you got any show ideas, you're interested in getting locked in with us, looking at email us at the size of 2102 at gmail.com. I want to do an opinion show or an advice show. I can't wait to do it. I want to do one. Listen to I done switched on off the thing. You can listen to our podcast over on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and SoundCloud. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. I ain't do that right. Okay. Thank you for joining us today. We will be back here probably 8ish tomorrow for
8ish.
So I can't wait to sit down and delve into it. We're gonna do part 2 of Janet Jackson. We'll talk about a couple of our shows. I know one ended that we need to talk about, and then we're gonna delve into Janet Jackson. So make sure you guys tune back in tomorrow when we discuss that. Wendy, you got anything else?
No.
Right. So we'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.